Hello and welcome to this lesson. So today we will be talking about customer research and go through very pragmatic and practical ways of gathering more information about your target customer and use that to improve upon your product. And to save you time, I will share a lot of templates with you in this lesson, and also I will send you a couple of tips for tools that you can use in your own customer research. So with that, let's jump into it. Alright, so the first type of customer research that we will be talking about is to look through reviews of similar products to the one that you are trying to develop and look for opportunities for improvement. So look for places where the existing products fail to deliver or be as good as they could be. And of course, these reviews could be taken from any place online really, but as always, Amazon is a great place to start just because of the amount of reviews that already exists there. So even if you want to sell on your own e-commerce store, you can use the reviews on Amazon to get an idea of what people like and dislike about current existing solutions. And with that, let's take a look at the template that was attached with this week's lesson and look at how that can be used as a system for analyzing reviews in a structured manner that highlights opportunities for improvement. So if we open up the template here, we see that it looks like this, and as you see, there's a bunch of different columns. And I will just very methodically go through everything now and show you how this system is meant to work. So the first thing that we need to do is, of course, to find a product which is similar to what we want to develop. And for this example, I will be using this thick curtain, which can be used as a room divider, which you can find following this link here on Amazon. And as you see, this product has 3,700 reviews almost. And what I will be doing is going through these reviews and then trying to summarize what people like and what people dislike about the product. So if we start off here, let's click at the reviews to open that. Let's filter by the 5 stars, start with what people do like about the product. And then let's just go through these one by one and try to summarize what the point of the review was. So let's see. The first one here, for example, we take the text and we copy it. We paste the text here so that we have it as a reference. We put the star rating. This was a 5-star review, so the people liked the product. And then what we do is to try to summarize the sentiment of the text into 1 or 2 phrases. So, for example, we read through here. We got 2 of these to set up an extra room in our living room. They are super high quality, not see-through at all, and actually very lightweight for how much you get. I stapled the middle ends together, and so on. So there are many things here, and we have to choose the 2 that we think are the most telling ones from this review. In this example, I would say that it's quite interesting that the customer liked that they are lightweight and that they block light very well. So let's put those 2 things there. So tag 1 would be blocks light, and tag 2 could be lightweight. Okay, so now let's go through the next 5-star review, copy it again, paste it here, put the star rating, and then read the review real quick and try to summarize it. So it says, this is seriously worth the money. I need to close off my open space dining room from the noise of the living room, and this absolutely worked. I plan to get more soon for other areas of my home. So here they liked that it closes off the noise from the living room. So we could say that it blocks noise. Okay, cool. And we continue doing it like this until we have about 20 5-star reviews, 20 4-star reviews, 20 3-star reviews, and so on. So in total, we should have about 100 reviews. And now let's do one negative review example so that we see how those work as well. We can go to the 3 stars here, filter by 3 stars, copy the review, we paste the review, and then again we summarize it, but now we focus on the negatives. And it says, okay, so I received this 2 days before I received the rod on which I was gonna hang it, and when I measured it, it was 10 inches off. See, my space require a 120-inch curtain, and this ran narrower. Okay, so here the negative thing was that it was too short. So on the negative tags, we say it was too short. Good, and as we fill this out, we can see that this place to the right, which we should not edit, starts to get filled up. So we see the most common positive tags and the most common negative tags reoccurring here. And I'm just gonna open up a file where I've already filled in a lot of these reviews for this product so that you can see how it will look when it's all filled out. So here we open up the file and we see that now when we have many tags, both positive and negative, we get these nice graphs to the right where we see the most positive feedback and the most negative feedback stand out. And a lot of this feedback, it will be quite useless for your product development. So for example, we see that the most positive feedback here was that it works well. And yeah, that's quite obvious. It should work well. So that's not going to inform our design process very much. But on the negative feedback side, we can see that people did not like that it blocks noise badly. So bad noise blocking. There were 18 occurrences of people complaining about this in their reviews. So if we create some new room divider, maybe good noise blocking would have to be a fixed requirement. And as you can imagine, this is quite a tedious task to fill out all of these reviews, especially if you're doing a lot of them, if you're doing 100 of them. So I would definitely recommend getting a virtual assistant to help you with this, because for only about $3 to $5 per hour, you can find extremely talented people who speak perfect English to look through reviews and to add this information into the template. In fact, I have already included this short YouTube video inside of the template, which you can send to the virtual assistant so that they understand how this template works and how they should fill it out. Alright, so the next type of customer research that we will be discussing are surveys. And surveys, they are very easy to set up and can provide a lot of information about your target customer in an easily digestible format. And the most important thing to keep in mind when you create your survey is that the questions should not be leading. So you should not let the customer know what you plan to develop or what you hope that their response should be. Because we humans, we are very social animals, and if they understand what you are hoping to get out of the survey, it is very likely that people will modify their responses just not to make you feel bad. And that's a nice thing, but that can actually cause you a lot of problems because maybe you will spend a lot of time developing something that people actually do not want. And to avoid having leading questions, my advice is to start as broad as possible and then narrow closer and closer to the product that you are envisioning. So, for example, if you are creating an ecological reusable coffee cup, you should not start with asking what reusable coffee cup do you currently use? Because that question has too many assumptions built into it. You should not even ask, do you prefer single-use or reusable coffee cups? Because that assumes that the person that you are asking are a coffee drinker already. A better first question for your survey could be, do you drink coffee daily? And that way you confirm that they are actually in your target demographic of coffee drinkers before you delve deeper and ask more specific questions that are closely related to what you plan to develop. And with this lesson, I have sent out a template full of questions that you can use in your own survey. But these are of course quite general, so you should include questions that are more specific to what you are developing as well. And when it comes to selecting a tool for creating and sharing your survey, I personally recommend Typeform. Typeform, it's free and it's extremely user-friendly, both on your side for creating the survey and on the respondent side for answering your questions. Now, let's imagine that we have created our survey using the template questions and Typeform, but what do we do next? How do we actually get people to respond and give us information about what product we should be creating? And this is probably the most difficult question with surveys, because we know that everybody in the world hates survey spammers. So just posting your survey in many different places online is likely not going to give you the number of responses or the quality of responses that you would like. So what I recommend doing is to, before you even start sharing your survey, start integrating yourself into online communities that are relevant to your product. So as an example, let's continue with the foldable plant pot product, which we have been using in the previous lessons. And let's think, what type of online communities would be interested in such a product? Well, probably people who are into home decor, I can imagine. So what I would be doing then is to go onto Facebook and search for communities related to home decor and the interior design. And perhaps there's even a community related directly to growing indoor plants. And then I would also check out Reddit and join any relevant subreddits. And once I've joined those Facebook groups and the relevant subreddits,
I don't just go forward and post the survey as the very first interaction inside of that community. What I do instead is that I go into that community and try to be as helpful as I can, answering any questions that people have, trying to point people towards useful resources, and just forget about my survey for a little while. Because that way I will be building my reputation inside of that community, so that in the future, in maybe a couple of weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, when I post the survey, people actually know who I am and know that I have done my share of trying to help out as well. Then people will be more likely to actually engage with the survey and give some valuable responses. Then now let's move on to the final form of research that we will be discussing today, and that is customer interviews. And there has been a lot written about customer interviews and how to conduct a good one, but I think fundamentally it should not be seen as something super complicated. It's simply about sitting down with your customer and talking about the problem that you're aiming to solve. And unlike review analysis and surveys, customer interviews should be kept quite flexible in their structure so that you are open to unexpected insights from the conversation. So for example, let's say that you're talking to a potential customer and then one of their answers to your predefined questions leads you to a completely unexpected place in the conversation. Then that is a great opportunity to get a lot of insights which you did not expect, or get ideas for features that would be nice to add to step above your competitors. And as with surveys, it's really best to start asking very broad questions as to not give away your agenda and what you're working on. And with this lesson, I have attached a template outline for how you could conduct your customer interview. But overall, my advice would be to simply list the questions that you want to hit, but don't be too rigid in how you conduct your interview, because you do want to take advantage of these unexpected opportunities which can present themselves throughout the conversation. And finally, the task for this week's lesson is to conduct a survey or a reviews analysis and a customer interview. So in other words, you can choose whether to conduct the survey or reviews analysis, but I strongly recommend that you do the customer interview either way. And with that, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next lesson.